Okay, today I want to present about completing the audit for chapter 10. This is the process for the completing the audit, as you can see. Okay, first review the contingent liabilities. Defined by MFRS 137 provision, contingent liabilities and contingent asset as a possible obligation that arises from past events and was existent will be confirmed only by the occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more uncertain future events not wholly within the control of the entity. A present obligation that arises from past event but is not recognized because it is not probable that an outflow of resources embodying economic benefits will be required to settle the obligation, or the amount of the obligation cannot be measured with sufficient reliability. A potential future obligation to an outside party for an unknown amount resulting from activities that have already taken place. Condition required for a contingent liability to exist. First, there is a potential future payment to an outside party for the impairment of some of the asset. There is uncertainty about the amount of the future payment or impairment. Third, the outcome will be resolved by some future event. Second, review the subsequent events. It defines as an event after reporting period are those events, favorable and unfavorable, that occur between the end of the reporting period and the date when the financial statements are authorized for issue. Two types of events. First, those that provide evidence of conditions existed at the end of the reporting period. Second, those indicative of conditions that arose after the reporting period. Third, final evidence accumulation. The auditor should finalize the audit and ensure that all the audit procedures conducted as well as the results have been properly documented and reviewed. Fourth, evaluate results. Concluded results for all tests performed of each class of transactions, events and ending balance. The results must be integrated into one overall conclusion about the financial statement. Auditor must decide whether appropriate and sufficient audit evidence has been accumulated to support the conclusion that the financial statements are fairly presented accordance with the GAAP applied on a basis consistent with those of preceding year. Auditor also required to arrive at an overall conclusion about the effectiveness of internal control over financial reporting. There are five main aspects. First, sufficiency of evidence. Second, evidence to support auditor's opinion. Third, financial statement disclosures. Fourth, audit documentation review. 5. Independent review. Issue of audit report. When all evidence has been accumulated and evaluated, the auditor will then have to issue the appropriate audit report. This is because the audit report, the only thing that most users see in the audit process, and the consequence of issuing an inappropriate report can be severe. It is critical that the appropriate audit report is issued correctly in most audits. The auditor issue an unqualified report with standard wording. Lastly, communicate with the audit committee and management. ISA 240 auditors' responsibility to consider fraud in an audit financial statement. Require the auditor to communicate on fraud and illegal acts to the audit committee or similar designated group, regardless of materiality. This is to assist the audit committee in performing its supervisory role for reliable financial statements. This requirement indicates the increased concern of the profession over the auditor responsibility for the detection and prevention of fraud. ISA 260 communication of audit matter with those things with governance requires the auditor to communicate certain additional information obtained during the audit for all public listed company engagements and other audits where there is an audit committee or similar designated body. However, for non-public company, communication is not required. Okay, that's only for the chapter 10. Thank you.